I was surprised. Wasn't sure if it was a joke or not. I was a bit like, ooh. But no, it was exciting. It was nice to do something different and not, you know, sit and look at a presentation and talk about things. It was nice to get hands-on and creative.
I thought it was different. I thought, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, because it was a 9 AM lecture, I thought, oh, it's gonna be something to get me going in the morning.
It seemed a bit strange.
Yeah, it did. It did.
When you walked in and see a big box of Lego.
Yeah, it's university, so to see Lego, I was like, oh, that's different. So yeah.
Why different?
Different because you'd always assume that university is lecture, lesson.
Yeah.
But with this university, it's like, oh, incorporate fun as well as learning, which is good.
Shocked and not really understanding why we were using Lego, as I didn't really understand why it was relevant to what we were doing in the session. So I was a bit wondering how it would relate.
So when I first saw that we were going to be using Lego for one of the modules, I did think it was a bit out of the ordinary, but as soon as I started to get used to it, I did see like the concept behind it and how it actually helped us understand the learning within it, because it's more visual rather than it being more theory based, which was really good.
It's a very good visual way, I think, of displaying things and
definitely
understanding things clearly.
I think at the start of the lecture, none of us really understood what
How it would relate.
how it would relate and how we'd show strategy through Lego. But I think through the Lego, it kind of helped our understanding of strategy even more as well. So
can you explain how?
Just the way we visually came from one side, from the start of the journey to the end, how some of us showed the journey. I think some people use like ships and things like that.
Yeah. And then like try to adapt service excellence with a ship, which is, it was about our journey and the direction that we want to go in. All the little details had metaphors to them. So like the wind was the direction can change due to like external
factors.
Yeah. There was like sharks, so then there's always competition. There was other stuff as well. There was like, there's like little mini boats which were like lifeguards. Like there's always,
you can get help along the way.
Yeah. So yeah, and then there was like what's it called?
The steering wheel.
Yeah, which was you choose the direction you want to go in.
Yeah. And someone has to steer the ship.
Yeah, someone has to be like the leader.
In control.
Yeah.
I think it was quite fun, and for creative people that was quite useful. For example, for me, I'm really creative, so I could let my creative side in the use, and we could have used it to show the metaphor of the stuff that we were doing.
I thought it was very useful because I'd never done it before, so it was nice to for my brain to think differently about something and to use the Lego in a way that I'd never used it before. Like, I played with it when I was a kid, but I never used it in a university way, and to think about like metaphors and how the bridge meant bringing people together and like different little things like that. But no, it was very useful and stimulated my brain.
To be aware of, obviously not to use it every week, I think, would be a bit too repetitive, but I think it's very easy.
I think it's effective in situations where people might not understand a methodology or something like that. So I think in difficult situations where you don't understand something, I think it can help.
And if you're not not very good at explaining what you're trying to get across,
definitely
displaying it in a visual way may be easier for them to understand as well.
The negative side would be if we are using it every week, it could become really boring.
You'd need a good balance. You would need to kind of have the balance between using the Lego and also actually explaining the concepts within it. So during the whole process, it kind of evens it out.
Obviously, if it was every day, it would get a bit too much, because obviously you have to have the academic lessons as well. But incorporated alongside it, it works really well.
I think, like as a type break session, but just to get your creative juices flowing.
And develop your own ideas as well, instead of just reading it in a book.